Flycatcher was the fastest attempt by man to roller skate without skates. Jacques Connu gave Anton Mang the biggest surprise of his GP career with that KO. Yep, on 7 Motorsport, we always bounce back with a good story. We never stretch the truth.
Gillette is changing the facing. First we made it closer. Now we're making it smoother. Introducing Contours with lubricating strip. It releases lubricants to glide the razor more smoothly. Smoothness like you've never felt it. Smoothness like you've never felt before. Contour Plus. First we made it closer. Now we've made it smoother.
These Wilkinson Sword Talon snips will now demonstrate that the name on the world's finest blades costs less than you'd think. Check it for yourself. Wilkinson Sword Talon snips.
Read any good books lately? I can highly recommend this superb paperback of John Martin's. It's their August home sale catalogue. Full of exciting savings on famous name products. Save $250 off this York Home Gym. $20 off G's Toaster Grill Oven. Payton's Wool $2.99 a ball and Martex towels $11.99 each. So for excellent savings and a very happy ending, read the John Martin's August home sale catalogue.
I was chased by a chimney last week.
Thursday night, Frank's on the run and disaster isn't far behind.
I've wet myself.
Then at 9, George has something Mildred wants.
Well, I've got a small endowment.
Yeah.
Have one on us with 7's Happy Hour, Thursday on 7.
Welcome back to AMAROO Park Raceway, the scene, of course, this afternoon for the Hardy Irrigation 100. Might be timely to check out the grid, how the top 12 will run. Let's recap them for you. Pole position's gone to Jimmy Richards in the JPS BMW, 52.20. From 2, Tony Longhurst, teammate in the second M3, 52.32. From 3.75, laughing Colin Bond. The Alfa Romeo for Caltex. From position number 4 is car number 39, Trevor Ashby in the Commodore. From 5, car number 47, Brian Callahan in the Commodore. From 6.16, Bradley Jones in the Dulux Stariot. 7.34, John Giddings in the Ford Sierra. From 8, car 20. Welcome back, Terry Finnegan in the Sutton's Commodore. From 9 is car number 14, Privateer in the Nissan Skyline, Murray Carter. Good to see him here. From 10 is car number 8, Peter McLeod. One of his infrequent visits in 53.88. From 11.44, Trevor Crow of New Zealand in the M3. From 12.22, Bob Stevens in the Commodore. And sharing that spot, of course, this afternoon with Ron Dixon. 10 seconds away from the start of the Hardy Irrigation 100 from Sydney's AMAROO Park Raceway and racing. Tony Longhurst goes like a rocket. Richards left at the post. Colin Bond up in the Caltex Alpha. And already problems for Jimmy Richards as Tony Longhurst will lead them over the top and drop down into the loop for the first time. And now it's Colin Bond. Colin Bond through quickly, and there's Brian Callahan making an absolute storm of Norman down the inside.
And the one black BM that survives there, in fact, I think is Jim Richards. It was Longhurst, after getting away to a brilliant start, who halfway up Bitchapave Hill has
parked it.
Run out of power, parked it off the side of the track.
Well, what boil over so early in this race. All the team tactics in position for the JPS BMW team. But as they come out of the late corner, the order will show Colin Bond and the Caltex Alpha leading down to the right-hander. Brian Callahan in 47. Trevor Ashby in the Commodore runs in 3rd. Jimmy Richards is 4th place in the number 3 JPS BMW. Trouble in the pit area. Bondy leads it. Brian Callahan. Head down, and right behind him is, of course, Jimmy Richards. There you can see the problems. Gear stick in the hand for Tony Longhurst carrying our race cam. He's going to report back to the pits and say, Frank, there's not much I can do about this. So Tony Longhurst, who will obviously get a co-driver's role with Jim Richards late in this race, but he's headed back to pit lane. Neil Crompton is already in the pits to update us with all of that. Oh, Brian Callahan and Jimmy Richards. And here's Ashby coming back to have another slice down the outside of Gentleman Jim. But Richards carries on, holds that 3rd spot.
Oh, and Ashby's gone wide and allowed
2 other cars through. He may be in trouble. No, he's picked it up again.
Yeah, Finnegan and Leeds both got through there. Or Finnegan and Leeds got through in car number 20. Strong arm, Tony Longhurst.
Certainly is. I guess it was a case of Frank telling him to stick it.
Oh, goodness me. Let's see if we can see this in replay. This is how it happened. This is at the start of the race. Remember, Longhurst made a... Look at that.
Surprise.
Sorry, boss. Horse bolted and windscreen wipers started. Colin Bond leads narrowly from Jimmy Richards in the JPS BMW M3. Third is Brian Callahan. Fourth,
Trevor Ashby.
Brad Jones.
Brad Jones?
Yes, he's just
Brad Jones has moved up to fourth in car 16, the Stallion. Big effort there, followed then by Trevor Ashby. That takes care of the top 5, and the 6th position held down by Terry Finnegan in the Commodore.
You notice that Richards getting closer all the time to Colin Bond.
Though he's under threat at the moment, he would be tickled pink. He's had as Jim makes a big lunge down the inside.
Jimmy Richards on the inside takes the lead away from Colin Bond.
Slowed badly there, Bond. There's something wrong. Bond has lost power.
Richards goes through, and Colin Bond might be headed for the pit area.
Brian Callahan holding down second, just ahead of Brad Jones in the Stallion, then Trevor Ashby going a little bit wide there, but it's been a real battle royal between these 3.
It certainly has been. I would think the visiting American Rodney Combs would be watching our telecast today in Melbourne, following the form of Brian Callahan and Barry Graham. I tell you, he's got a tiger by the tail here, and Brad Jones works to the outside. So Brad Jones goes around the outside of Brian Callahan, and he will now pick up second. Callahan back to third, but he's now under threat of a challenge from Trevor Ashby.
As Trevor Ashby gets very serious about taking... and there's Terry Finnegan through. A good move.
He gave Callahan just a tap, but look at Finnegan coming up here on the outside of Callahan.
He's got both of them.
And